Hey guys, it's me back at for another video, and I just recorded the NXT Stand and Deliver prediction video from the last one, so be sure to check that out. And before we get into this, once again, this video and any of other, actually I did not put this in the prediction video for NXT, but out of all my videos, it's still not sponsored by Prime, so even iShowSpeed is not going to give me a promotion, so I'll set that to the bed. Let it drain my blankets. Just kidding. The bottle's sealed. But anyways, here we are, guys. WrestleMania 41, and it's WrestleMania weekend, so that means that every single arena in Las Vegas and every convention center is going to be jam-packed with wrestling gear, merchandises, superstars, parties, and just a whole bunch of excitement happening here in Las Vegas. And I'm from Las Vegas, so I got my, actually coincidentally, got the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes Bullet Club shirt, plug, from New Japan, and yep, here we are. I'll be giving you my predictions for each night, night 1 and night 2 for WrestleMania here, and yeah, this is actually going to be pretty interesting for the match cards I'm seeing here right now from BleacherReports.com, so this is what it, for what I'm seeing right now, this is what they actually put up, like in terms of how it's going to be like projected. And I think this was like updated like I think like an hour ago or maybe a couple days ago. But yeah, apparently this is what we got so far. So I'm gonna go for each night, and I'll give my predictions from here. So looks like we're starting off the match for night 1 is the World Heavyweight Championship match. The Gunther General, the champion, going up against the main event Jey Uso. Now, before I actually get into this, I just watched the Polana Productions YouTube video, and he did a prediction video like the one I'm doing right now, and I feel like I can agree to what he said from that video, but I want to give my perspective to how I see from each match. And if you don't agree with me, then that's fine. Your opinion is your opinion, so don't feel free to critique with me, and just whatever. Anyways, the World Heavyweight Championship match, Gunther versus Jey Uso. So at first I wasn't a bit crazy with Jey Uso choosing Gunther, because at first it was like a weak choice because of, you know, how Gunther is like the strongest guy of Monday Night Raw. But this story was actually built up pretty, like, very slow. But from that one episode where Gunther almost killed Jimmy Uso in a singles match, I think that's where, like, the tension starts to arise, you know? Like, Jey Uso now wants to really go after Gunther after what he did to his brother, Jimmy. So I feel like Jay's doing this for Jimmy Uso and everyone of the Owani family, because why not? It's the bloodline, and they do whatever they like. But this new bloodline, they can't do shit because they're really funny with Jacob Fatu. But anyways, I'm gonna say this here, and I think that Jey Uso is gonna probably take the biggest W of his entire career. I mean, Gunther, we do love him, but I feel like he made the title feel more of like a... Yeah, I feel like he actually made the World Heavyweight Championship feels more like a... Not really much of a mid-card, because it's like a major insult, but... I mean, that'll probably be like the biggest insult to his entire career that he did with the title, so... I'm going to say that Jey Uso is going to get the W for sure, if he manages to survive the slap chops to the chest and just avoiding any submission moves that Gunther does, because he's one scary motherfucker. But anyways, next match, Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. And let me get something off my chest here. Chad Gable is such a guy. I mean, he's such a talent, but this as a gimmick, El Grande Americano, it's such a stupid gimmick, but people like him. People like him and his gimmick for the wrong reasons. I mean, it's like Elias when he came out as Ezekiel. It's such a stupid gimmick that people just like it. I mean, Chad. I mean, the way story goes is that Chad is unable to compete because he is sick. So he calls up his luchador friend El Grande Americano to fight off against Dragon Lee and get personal beef with Rey Mysterio. Although he is not familiar with the American Made group, Julius Creed, Brutus Creed, and Ivy Niles, he still aligns with them. And of course, for all the WWE universe, we know who's under that mask, but he won't tell us because he kept doing that stupid like peace sign. It says Glacias or El Macho, whatever he calls it. Like I'm like, oh god, this guy is a no fault of his own, but I'm just like getting so sick and tired of these little played out like gimmicks. I mean, I know for sure that Rey's gonna win because we don't like a good WrestleMania of Rey Mysterio losing. What was the last time we saw Rey win a match? Actually, coincidentally enough, he won against the bad guy, his own son, Dominic Mysterio. We'll get to him a little later because he whipped him with his weight belt to the back of Dominic's back, and of course we're gonna see him winning against El Grande Americano, which will be his biggest L record, and we finally get to. I think from here we're gonna see Rey Mysterio along with his LWO members taking down American Made, and they 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 hold El Grande. They hold him up and have Rey Mysterio remove the mask to reveal that it was Chad Gable the whole time. So his ass is going to be lying, saying and admits that he'll miss the WrestleMania. Like he'll miss WrestleMania, but we know that his ass is lying because he's going to get his ass kicked. So as well as El Grande, but it's a stupid gimmick. But it works for some people, so who cares? The World Tag Team Championship, the World War Raiders, Eric and Ivar, not. It's Hanson and Rowe going up against the New Day. It's what I said from Ricky Saints and the Ethan Page match for the NXT North American Championship match. It's a match that happens. The New Day really wants to get their tag team momentum back, and they had to face against the War Raiders. I feel like this is going to be one of those matches where people are going to go to the bathroom and take a break, or buy merchandise from the merch table, or maybe buy food from Salvations at the Allegiant Stadium. And yeah, I feel like I'm going to go take a bathroom break, or maybe buy merch from the merch table. But unless if Big E comes out and finally confronts and beat the living daylights out of Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, then that would be a moment. And that I think we might see the War Raiders retain their titles because it's a match that people are not too crazy about. Even I wasn't even too happy about this since it's going to be like your generic WWE tag team match. And I feel like that curse of the tag team titles not being too crazy or hyped up at WrestleMania still lives on. I mean, I don't know if you guys noticed that, but it's still going on. And actually, I need my prime drink because I'm getting a little thirsty after speaking so much from that NXT prediction video. Technically, I'm drinking out of Speed's blood. But anyways, Next, we have Jade Cargill versus Naomi. And according to my research, out of all the as well as all the wrestling sources on YouTube, this is apparently the first women's match without a specific stipulation or a championship match. And I have to admit, I actually find that to be pretty true, because I think the last one that ever happened was, I'm not gonna think about it, but I actually found out to be pretty fascinating that this is the first one that doesn't have like a specific stipulation. Because I think out of Rey Mysterio and El Grande, that's the match that doesn't have a stipulation. But this on its own with a women's Jade Cargill and Naomi, I feel like it's been a while, but I don't recall that much. But anyways, Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Okay, this will be Jade's first WrestleMania appearance, and Naomi's first ever appearance ever since that she like last appeared on WrestleMania 38 with Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, if you want to be all elite. But this is not an all elite video, actually. This is a World Wrestling Entertainment video. So tell me where AEW is. Exactly. So I feel like this one's going to be a showstopper, because you have another African American women's match, and being that it doesn't have a stipulation, I feel like this one's going to be a winner. I mean, regardless. I mean, this one's going to be pretty fun. You're going to see a bunch. You're going to see two of them being each other within and without. I mean, out of the ring. And this one's going to be pretty good. So I think I'm going to say that Jade's going to win this one, and finally put Naomi out of her misery. But actually, what I wanted to see that if this came to light, I would have actually seen like a special guest referee, for Bianca Belair to be the special guest referee, just monitor the two women who used to be her tag team partner. But I would imagine that the twist was Bianca knew that Naomi was gonna screw Jade over, and she gives her the low, not a low blow, but a grab on her hair, and it hit her hard at the end of the ring, or actually maybe by the barricades. And we see a new version of Bianca Belair, a nasty woman, right next to Jade Cargill, because that was originally what Jade Cargill was. She was back in AEW, a woman who really wants to showcase her talent in AEW, but the crowd is just not. They're not taking her seriously. Like they're just sick and tired that she's trying to be like an overachiever, and that I think should have worked. But I'm okay with this one. So the simple fact of the matter is that Jade's gonna win, and finally put Naomi out. Next for night one, the United States Championship match. LA Knight LA Knight, yeah. The United States champion going against Jacob Fatu. I feel like this one's going to be pretty easy, because actually, I might as well bring out that U.S. title. And don't mind the mess, or even like noises. The United States title is going under Jacob's shoulder, because he's such a big breakout star in SmackDown right now. I mean, we do love LA Knight because he's a megastar. He's a fan favorite in WWE ever since he got called up. But I feel like his second title reign is not very strong like his first one, where he defends it at any time, any place, anywhere. But I feel like Jacob's gonna bring that U.S. title back home to the new bloodline because knowing that Solo Sikoa tried to apologize him, but Jacob's like I'm gonna do this on my own without you. And I think that's where we get the splintering of the new bloodline because there's a lot of miscommunication with Gorillas of Destiny, Jacob Fatu, and Solo Sikoa, and that's where the bloodline finally collapsed. Next, the WWE Women's Championship match. Tiffany Stratton, the champion, will have to defend her title against the overrated Charlotte Flair. I knew it was coming, but what doesn't seem to be what I did not expect from this particular storytelling is how personal it actually got, because I almost thought for a second to when they actually got to the unscripted part, it felt like that it came out of nowhere, like the personal rivalry of those two talking over like their ex-husbands, like Andrade, that he's in coincidentally in WWE, but then Charlotte goes up to Tiffany and try to roast her with her relationship with Ludwig Kaiser or Marcel Martel if you're an NXT fan. And I felt like it got really personal. So, and actually, as a matter of fact, I think for tonight or even the last couple episodes, they really went up each other like hard, and I feel like that's a personal rivalry. And I'm not, I'm actually not mad. Actually, I'm not mad about it. I feel like it's going into some sort of new direction that we are not expecting to see. I mean, I know for sure that the two are not going to bring out their fiancés or their ex-husbands into this chat, but I think that it's actually a bit hard because we all love Tiffy and it's her Tiffy time, but actually, yeah, I think that sums it up. I feel like it's still Tiffy time because I feel like Charlotte Flair is she's way too overrated. They need to give her a like. I was glad at the time that they let her gonna. I thought she was gonna take a little break, but now that she returned at the Royal Rumble this year, I'm like, oh my God, what are they doing? They need to stop. They need to stop carrying Charlotte Flair as the main woman because I might as well. Actually, might as well do it, but because that's part of night 2. But I want to talk about Rhea Ripley for her match. But let's get to the main event itself, so we can get to the women's World Championship match for night 2, in which I'll be there night 2. Night 1, I'll be watching on Peacock or Netflix, depending, and we'll do it live. So, and I think I want to do it on my web camera or my iPhone. But the thing about doing live streams on my phone, it takes a very long time to actually process and upload things on my phone. Because I think it fully uploads within like 24 hours or maybe 48 hours, depending on how long I use my phone. But anyways, then we get the main event of WrestleMania 41 of night 1. The triple threat match of Roman Reigns, the OTC, versus CM Punk and Seth Rollins. And I feel like this match perfectly sums up to what the stipulation is. It's a custody to who's going to be the Paul Heyman guy, because they're putting Paul Heyman like in the middle. They're putting him in the middle, and then you have Roman, CM Punk, and Rollins feuding each other like crazy. Like, who should Paul Heyman's advocacy goes to? Should it be like the man who carried the WWE Championship for almost like 400 days? A man who hold the title for specifically 1,316 days, or Rollins, someone who has been a singles championship, someone who has the best championship run of his entire life, but has never had a manager before, and that he wants never has or never will sell his soul to Paul Heyman. And then you have Paul Heyman, who feels so like he feels so conflicted and doesn't even know what to do with it. So I guess for this main event, it's actually kind of a bit hard to actually who wins this. But the way I see it is this: when the Shield first debut, Punk doesn't even he acknowledges that he doesn't even know who the Shield is. But the Shield they build up so much with the Shield that they're taking so much focus on every single main guys back at WWE in 2013, including Punk. I think by the end of 2014, and I think at that time, CM Punk stopped for being a Paul Heyman guy because of, I think, of the Undertaker match. No, wait, he was actually, but I think somewhere at that time he stopped being a Paul Heyman guy because I think there was Cesaro, and I think there was someone else, and he went back to Brock Lesnar and all this other crap. And then a couple of years later, we got Roman Reigns, who is his Wiseman, and now here we are. Like it's kind of a bit of like a mess, but I feel like that match perfectly sums up to who would be Paul Heyman's guy of that match. And going back to actually to the Polana's production video, he says that he could see Seth Rollins being the new Paul Heyman guy because Rollins was never. I mean, you can argue with me that J&J Security were his managers, like his ringside managers, but they're more of his security. They're more of his bodyguards. But I think I could see it happen, but I know for most people, we wanted the OTC to win the match. And if the betrayal does happen with Paul Heyman signing himself with Seth Rollins and Rollins confirming that he'll be the new Paul Heyman guy, like curb stopping both Roman and Punk, that's the biggest heel that we wanted to see again. But actually, he'll be the ultimate heel. Because we all know about Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins. They're two of the biggest heels of their time, and with them together, this will like quadruple, and the stakes will go super high back at SmackDown or Raw, depending on where Rollins stays. But anyways, that's that for night one, and we've gone over like 23 minutes. I feel like that's how long WrestleMania 41 is going to be, and that's what I actually read somewhere. From the start of from the kickoff show to the actual WrestleMania with their pre-show and the actual like matches, I think it's going to be like almost like 18 hours long. So that's how long WrestleMania is going to be for this year. Actually, if you combine that together, 18 times 2, that's 36 hours. So almost like a day and a half. That's almost like a day and a half. But I'll be watching WrestleMania Night 2 for about like, I think when the door opens at 3:30 at Allegiant Stadium to probably 8 o'clock or 9, depending on how long the match is, or how long each match is going to be. I think that's going to be about like almost like 5 or 6 hours long. So That's how I could see it for tomorrow. Not tomorrow. I mean, that's how we could see it for both night 1 and 2. But when I'm there, I think it's going to be about like 6 hours long. So we'll see. But speaking of night 2, let's get to night 2. So the match that's starting it off is the Women's World Championship triple threat match. Io Sky, the champion, will defend her title against Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. Everyone loves Mommy. Everyone loves the EST, and everyone loves the Io Sky. And I feel like this one's actually going to be a good one because they're all former world champion. I mean, they're all former women's champions. I mean, I think there's no words to describe this for a triple threat match. I mean, everyone loves Mommy. I mean, I don't have a problem if Mommy wins the match, but I feel like the main focus is probably going to go towards actually Rhea Ripley. Is it Rhea Ripley in Smack? Oh, maybe I'm getting my mind reversed, but I feel like Bianca's gonna win this for sure. I mean, we all love Mommy, but I feel like Io's gonna cost this by shoving Rhea out of the ring, and then Bianca does her EST on Io, and they're gonna recapture every single moment that Bianca wins every single WrestleMania ever since she makes her first appearance at WrestleMania 37, winning against Sasha Banks. 38, she wins against Becky Lynch. 39, she wins against Asuka. I think 40, she retained her tag team title with Jade Cargill. And I think for this one, she's going to win it against Io and Rhea Ripley. So I feel like WWE has done a very incredible job for making her like such a big deal whenever she goes to WrestleMania. So that's impressive. So I think Bianca's going to win that one. And honestly, I don't know how I'm going to do a live stream at WrestleMania 41 of night 2. But I think I'm just going to make like stories and maybe little snippets for each match, including the next one. I'm going to go over AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. And I did watch a YouTube video of like some wrestling video where they go over like guys who are like very special attractions. Like they showed like Andre the Giant, and then they showed like the Undertaker. They showed like a handful of people who are known to be like special attractions exclusively for pay-per-views, and Logan Paul has to be one of them. So, and it actually surprised me. And I did read somewhere that people were not happy that AJ has to face against Logan Paul. But I feel like that's under for a good reason, because Logan's there because he wants to make money. And as well as AJ Styles too. I mean, that's what pretty much WrestleMania is. Or actually what WWE is. When they're in their hometown, they're there to make money. Not Mercedes money, but just real money. Like, give me the dough. But anyways, I feel like for these two, they're gonna put on one hell of a match. And I can definitely see that for sure. But I think for this one, there's no way to... I mean, Logan's gonna put one hell of a show, but I feel like AJ has to give the W for that match. I mean, let's be honest. No one even likes Logan Paul. Even for those who live in Las Vegas and they moved out of California to live here, that's when you know you're a Logan Paul hater. So I'm giving it to AJ. So, and plus, little plug here actually, Bullet Club represent. Next, we have the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, the champions of the Women's Judgment Day, they're going after against Bayley and the current WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion, Lyra Valkyria. I feel like this is another championship match that I'm not too crazy about because it's a tag team match, and I feel like these tag team championship matches, they're not very interesting anymore. I mean, as we established earlier from the World Tag Team Championship match, War Raiders and the New Day, and I feel like it's starting to make sense now that knowing that the video that I happened to upload it after this one, I think it's starting to make sense actually because with the Fatal 4-Way Elimination Tag Team match at NXT Stand and Deliver, it's either if Liv and Raquel successfully defended their title against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, we might see Roxanne and Cora beating Bayley and Lyra backstage on the Raw after WrestleMania, and they come out to go after against Liv and Raquel, and that's where we get like a new generation of Roxanne and Cora. So yeah, I'm gonna say for this one, it's gonna be another bathroom break moment, and Liv and Raquel, they're gonna win this match. Next one, we have the Intercontinental Championship match, the Fatal 4-Way. Braun Breaker defends his title against Penta, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio. And then actually, a perfect segue for Judgment Day. It started a splinter. I mean, Finn and Dominic, I feel like they don't see eye to eye anymore, and I feel like JD McDonough, Carlito, and all others who are in part of Judgment Day, they try to hold everything together, but it's starting to break apart because of how much Dom and Finn don't see each other and how they don't work things out together like they used to. Meanwhile, you have Braun Breaker and Penta doing their shots to win the title. So I feel like for this one, I don't know if WWE is actually going to do this, but I feel like they're going to give Penta the win because of the major distraction of the Judgment Day of Finn and Dominic. And Braun is going to be one angry dog and try to aces their asses with a spear. So, but I feel like Penta is going to survive this and win his first championship match. And I just had a runny nose. Disregard that. But anyways, the co-main event of night 2 is the Sin City Street Fight match. Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. And I feel like I'm going to actually feel more excited for that one because not only is it's a street fight match because they're going to be fighting all around Allegiant Stadium, but Drew McIntyre is like the superstar right now. And Damian Priest is going to get all the credit to putting on one hell of a show around the stadium. So, but if I really had to choose a winner for here, I think Drew's going to get the win because I feel like he's not going to. I'm guessing he's not going to reminisce the embarrassment that he had actually coincidentally from last year's WrestleMania, which, by the way, night 2 of WrestleMania 40 was incredible, like without a doubt. And I think that's probably one of the main reasons why we got this match. Maybe for Drew McIntyre to erase his embarrassment and win against Damian Priest. So I think that's the winner. And I'm talking about Drew McIntyre as the winner of that match. And finally, we have the most anticipated match of the night. The undisputed WWE Champion, Cody Rhodes, defends his prestigious title against John Cena. And honestly, guys, I think I'm scared for this one. When your match is listed as the main event, everyone's fingers are crossed. You're going to be glued to the screens and see what the hell is going to happen between two men. One, a veteran, and two, a new generation, and third, the final boss, if it does happen. Because according to what Polana Productions said in his video, of his prediction video, he says that there's a likely chance that the referee is going to be knocked out. The Rock comes out, probably gonna grab his weight belt and try to slap Cody on the back. And then you have like Randy Orton coming out, he comes down to the ring and tries to help Cody. And that's where he does like, no, I feel like Polana says this way. Stone Cold comes out from the entrance ramp, walks down to the ring, gives the middle finger to The Rock, does a stunner, and he tries to do a stunner to John Cena. But Cena does an AA to Stone Cold, and Cody Rhodes hits a cutter on Cena, but then right after he does that and tries to pin him, Randy comes to Cody and gives the biggest RKO, and we get like the biggest blowout in the history of professional wrestling, period. And I think people will see this as the greatest moment of WrestleMania history, and John Cena wins the undisputed WWE Championship. And we get some sort of crazy alliance of legends who fought wrong about Cody. Honestly, I'm having my fingers crossed. I'm going to be glued to the ring and see what the hell happens. Either Stone Cold and The Undertaker comes out and goes 2-on-2 with The Rock and John Cena, two big legends of our industry today. Welcome to WrestleMania weekend, everybody. So I guess the winner for this match, if hopefully, is actually the shirt I'm wearing. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Because I really want to see Stone Cold and The Undertaker just taking down John Cena and The Rock. Because, I mean, let's be honest, Cena, he really sell his soul to the devil, the final boss, at the Elimination Chamber. And every single children's heart were shattered on that night, including mine as well. And even for my childhood friend, Anthony, who is above, I think he's also being heartbroken. And we want to give John Cena and The Rock the spit to their faces. So yeah, I think I'm gonna be all Cody for this one. So I think that's done. But anyways, there's gonna be one hell of a weekend, guys. So, and I'm starting to lose my voice. And actually, now we exceeded over 40 minutes. I think that's I think that's the time limit to how long this main event is gonna go for both nights actually. So I mean, I could see that for sure. But anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow for the live streams for NXT Stand and Deliver and WrestleMania Night 1. And I'll do some Instagram posts on Night 2 when I get there, and we'll have a great time. So I want to thank you guys for watching these prediction videos, and if you do, please give them a like, comment, and share. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. So this has been another video of my prediction videos, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. So peace.